This is our 2006 Honda S2000 that we bought completely bone stock, and it didn't stay that way for long. After a few short weeks, the car is finished. It has a few spoon body parts, custom carbon fiber roof, a rebuilt engine, a Greddy turbo kit, fresh paint, and a ton more. Let's take you guys back to the beginning of this build. Roll the clip. Yeah, is that it? Yeah, baby! Yeah! Wow, an S2000.
Look at that thing. Thank you, mama. Oh, that thing is
We found this Honda S2000 really easily on AutoTempest.com. Here at Throtl, everyone uses AutoTempest to find their cars. Whether it be a sweepstakes car, a project car for the channel, or even a personal car, we all love it because it makes things so easy. AutoTempest takes new and used cars from across the internet and compiles them into one neat presentable package so that you can easily find the car you're looking for. For example, if you're trying to find an S2000 like this one, an AutoTempest search will include listings from Carvana, TrueCars, Cars.com, and many other major used car sites. You can even narrow your search by year, color, trim, and many other factors, which is one of the things we love. AutoTempest makes online car shopping simple and convenient. So a huge thank you to AutoTempest.com for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys are in the market for your own project car, head on over to AutoTempest.com and have a look for yourself. They have all the cars, one search. Now let's start building this Honda S2000.
There's really not a whole lot of information out there about how to mount these. The one picture I did find, the person actually drilled holes in the flange and actually secured it with nuts and bolts. I don't really like that. I think we're gonna have to get a little tricky with some heat here. And I've also thought about the idea of pulling the fenders off, cutting this out, and actually flush mounting these from the bottom. I'm not sure it's possible, but we might give it a try. Arrived here at APR Performance, where they create the wings and do all the development of all of their carbon fiber products. They actually already have a wing mount for this car, so we'll build off of that, and we're going to decide on the height and everything here while we're putting this together.
This engine is a little old. It's got some seeps, it's got some leaks, and we're gonna be pulling it out and doing a ton of maintenance on it. Oh, she's seen a little bit of heat. That's not terrible. Still a little bit of life left in it. Oh, there's hot spotting on that. Not terrible.
Mickey driving it.
Huh?
It's probably from Mickey.
It's probably from Mickey driving it. This engine does need a little bit of work. We do have some gaskets here that are leaking, and there's just a lot of crud and grime kind of all over. We're gonna do a whole refresh on this thing. We got a lot coming for this engine. We're actually gonna be tearing this thing completely down because we're gonna be rebuilding this engine. Whoever wins this car is gonna end up with a really good powertrain package that is rebuilt, reliable, it's gonna hold the power very nicely, and it's gonna sound amazing with this new Greddy turbo kit. And see what this thing looks like on the inside. There's red paint in here. A lot of this is just like oil buildup, crud. So luckily we're gonna clean all this stuff out. And it's kind of everywhere. Not terrible, not the end of the world. A little bit of grimy. This engine could have used more oil changes, for sure. All of the rings are moving around, which is good, including the oil control ring. So a lot of times these oil control rings, you can see in there's like some gunk in it. It doesn't look nice and clean, and there's kind of oil buildup and junk around the sides. But a lot of times these oil control rings, they'll get stuck in place because they'll have like coagulated oil built up, and then they get seized and then they stop working, and then you have like, a lot of cars will start burning oil when that happens. Other than that, it looks pretty good. We have a bit of skirt wear on the sides, which doesn't really concern me that much. The bearings, however, something got in here. You can see there's just like a few clean lines like all the way around, and same on the cap here. So not the end of the world, definitely something we're going to replace because we're gonna be putting new main and rod bearings in here. Good shape, dude. Good shape. A little bit of oil staining, nothing crazy. Everything looks good. You can see where the oil journal like gallery is in the bearing because it's a lot less worn, but I don't feel anything with my finger indicating that we have like damaged journals or excessive wear. So we'll know when we put the micrometer on it, but everything looks really good. I'm happy with this engine overall. We have a lot of OEM Honda parts here on the table. We're doing pretty much just an OEM refresh on this engine. We're gonna be upgrading a few things while we're in here. We did send the cylinder head out to get machined. So it's got a nice fresh cut on it as well as inspected. Everything looks really good with it. We added an oil panned baffle. It's a Weldon baffle. Got the old rings out. 2 of the cylinders were starting to show signs that the oil control rings were starting to seize, which is not good. So we've got that all cleaned up, and our new rings are gonna take care of that. So overall, these pistons are in excellent shape. I have no problem reusing them, and they're forged from the factory, which is really cool. So we haven't done a whole lot to the engine block. This block is actually in really good shape. We've cleaned it up. I've cleaned up the deck. We've dry ice blasted the whole thing, and it looks absolutely beautiful. 2022 C1 is fully rebuilt and ready to go back into the S2000. We hung the Greddy turbo kit off. We still have a little bit of lines to run and some things to figure out with that, so we're gonna be getting to that. But our engine is finished. This thing is fully rebuilt. New rings, new bearings, new gaskets, and seals complete all the way through the engine. This thing is ready to fire up for its first time back in our S2000. We just got in our Dry Ice Energy Champ Vario. We've been wanting one of these for so long, we finally have one. Our S2000 is gonna transform with this blaster, and this thing's gonna end up looking amazing, so let's get to it.
All right, well, today's D-Day. This car is heading off to Torrey Pines Collision for its respray and to get all the fiberglass parts painted as well. So before we load it on the trailer, we're gonna remove some of the stuff for the body shop so they don't have to fuss with it and we don't have to worry about anything getting lost. So we're gonna remove the third brake light, the tail lights, the headlights, the spoon mirrors are gonna come off so that they don't have to pull the door cards.
So, Ricky, where are the keys at, bud? See, I need the key because it's not gonna do anything unless the ignition is on for the accessory power. That's good. So, we should have an indicator right here. Once I click the key on, boom!
Nice.
It's lit.
All right, so right now if you look down here, we're gonna spin it, then she turns.
All right.
Oh, that'll work. I believe in it.
Oh, I heard it.
It's definitely worked.
Oh yeah, now let go of it.
And I have an e-brake light on here too.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So that's our indicator that the e-brake is applied. So now I'll press down. Make a
And we're back
noise.
to turning. Turn it on again.
right, it's on.
Turn it on. Yeah, apply it.
All right, it's on.
No, it's not.
You know what? It might not work while you're spinning it. Cause
No, it will. Apply it. He's not applying it. I didn't hear it.
It's on.
No, it is. I couldn't hear it.
Cool. All right, now I'm gonna turn this back off. Lights off. Button doesn't do anything. Perfect. Cool. That is the electronic parking brake by Willwood Big Brake Kit on the rear. Done. So next up, we are going to be installing an EVS tuning bump steer kit for the front. So basically this is going to bump up the steering rack to kind of make up for the space of lower ride height. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the throtl channel and turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss a thing.
This engine is completely finished. Now we hung our Greddy turbo off the side just to kind of get an idea of what it was going to look like and finish up the engine build. I always love to see a turbo on a finished engine, which looks really nice. So today we're actually gonna get this thing back in the car, but before we do that, I have to finish the plumbing for the turbo, get it fully installed, and then we'll drop this thing in.
You hear the turbo?
Sounds good, dude, huh? That turbo sounds nice. Engine works, which is a really good sign, so now we can kind of button everything else back up. So we're gonna put the intercooler, the cooling system, and kind of dress the front of the car here and get everything mechanically back in shape.
Look at that. She done.
He's done. We put this engine in yesterday.
I know.
So this thing came together really quickly, which was really cool. So we haven't put coolant in it. We still don't have an exhaust, so there's still things that need to get done to the car, but
It looks beautiful. Look at that.
great.
It was great.
And it runs.
I know.
That's even better.
gonna hear this car start with the Gretty exhaust and the Gretty turbo. I'm excited.
Ready? All right, let's give it a rip. Good old Honda. Just like that, baby. The exhaust sounds great.
The exhaust sounds really nice. It's actually louder than I thought it was gonna be, but it's like deep and throaty. It sounds good.
Super smooth too. It's like the first time we started up.
Yeah. Shifter's fully installed. It feels amazing. It's such a nice piece on our Civic, and I'm really glad we brought it back for our S2000 build. I love the shifters. This is a brand new wheel from Motegi. This is the new Flowform MR159. We got it in an 18 by 9.5 with an ET38 offset. We're gonna be running a squared wheel setup on the car. We are, however, gonna stagger the tires. So we have a 235/40 ZR18 in the back and a 225/40 R18 in the front.
We'll turn this around. We'll turn this around.
So good, bro.
I'm in, dude. I'm in.
I really like that actually.
On our way up to our friend's shop who we bought the S2000 from, that is our current sweepstakes car. And that's because he owns a body shop and he also does mold making and pulls fiberglass or carbon fiber parts. He gave us an opportunity to come to his shop and actually handcraft a hardtop for this S2000. All right, we just arrived at Makito's shop here in Hesperia, California. We're gonna head in, say hello, and get started.
Now that the top's back here in our shop, we're going to apply all of the factory brackets that we bought that are going to fasten this to the car and make sure that it doesn't fly off while we're driving it. We actually, luckily enough, were able to find all of the fasteners directly from Honda, and these things are crazy expensive, but you can buy cheaper alternatives if you're going to do this project on your own. We want to make sure that we're giving the end user a really nice product when they get the car. For me, OEM fasteners are the way to go.
it's time to remove the spoon bumper so that we can put on the new OEM bumper.